Today we're going to replace a rotten post. This fence is okay except for that this post has rotten off at the bottom. It's actually completely broken off. What we're going to do today is we're going to replace this post with the Ozpost system. The Ozpost for 4x4s come in two lengths. We have the T4850, which is 34 inches in length. We have the T4600, which is 24 inches. Today we're going to use the T4600. We're actually going to take this post off. We're going to drive the T4600 through the old post and the concrete that was already set. Take this panel off of the post. As you can see, this post is completely rotted off. Pull that other post off. There's little stumps here. So what we're going to do is take a reciprocating saw and cut this down so that we have a level surface when we get ready to drive our Ozpost. Alternative to the jackhammer, if you only have one post, what you can do is put the hammer spacer into the post, get a scrap piece of 4x4, maybe 4 or 5 inches, place it in on top, and then you can sledgehammer the Ozpost into the ground. So today we're going to use the jackhammer installation method. So we're going to lay our post down, put the hammer spacer in, and then we will slide the jackhammer into the post. So what we're going to do now, as you can see, it's pretty wobbly. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get it started, and then we'll start checking for level. At this point, once the whole assembly will stand up by itself, we're going to get a two-way post level. We're going to strap it on the Ozpost sleeve, and then we'll be able to make sure we're driving it level with this. Start and stop quite frequently, especially on your first couple times, just to check. The Ozpost is going to take the path of least resistance. That's why we want to stop and make sure that we're checking level ever so often, especially in this case, because what we're doing is we're driving through the old wood rotten post and the concrete that was used to install that initial post. So what we're going to do is just make sure that you're keeping check to make sure that you're still driving straight. There is some fine-tuned adjustment at the end that can be made, but you just want to make sure that you're going ahead and go slow to make sure that we're driving it in straight. post almost to the top of the sleeve. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop right now because we're just a little bit out of line with our lot line. This will happen especially in certain circumstances where you're driving through an existing post in concrete. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop now, we're going to do some fine-tune adjustments to get it back in line with our lot line, and then we'll go ahead and drive it on in. One installation option you have is to go ahead and leave the sleeve completely out of the ground. So what we're going to do to make our fine-tune adjustment is get a bar clamp. We're going to stick it over the Oz post, tighten it up, and then we're going to pull it back into line. We're trying to get it straight this way. Now we're back in line with our lot line, so when we put our post in, everything will screw back in accordingly. So now we're going to leave about half of the post out so that when we use our weed whacker that we don't damage the post but hit the Oz post. One interesting thing we found during this project was that there's a sprinkler right here. As you can see, this rot is prematurely rotted at the ground. Using the Oz post system, no water will be able to stand against the post. In addition, there's no part of the new post that will be underneath the ground. As you can see, any water that remains against the Oz post will drain all the way through. Oz post into the desired depth. So what we're going to do is now put our 4x4 wood post into the Oz post sleeve, screw it in, and we'll be done. As you can see in this install, since we went through the old post, that actually some of the wood has actually come in through the Oz post. What we're going to do now is put our level on here. We do have some fine-tune adjustments in order to get the post completely plumb. Due to the many variances in the size of 4x4s, sometimes you will have a little gap right here. So what we suggest doing is just getting a little 2-pound hammer and just go ahead and compress it against the post. A good idea to finish up the installation is to get some polyurethane glue and insert it into the side holes. The last part of this project is reinstalling the fence panel to the new post. Well, this total project's taken us about 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and reinstall this fence panel. Have a great day.